What's up, everyone? It's Jan Boers, New Humans of Eurovision show, new podcast, new interviews you love with the professionals from Eurovision world and beyond. And today with the head of content, Twan van den Nieuwenhuijzen, who's responsible for 39 acts, 39 countries, 39 stagings. And of course, he's responsible for the running order. You know, I was criticizing it on my YouTube videos recently, and you know, I want to talk with him about this topic as well. So we actually spent a pretty good time together to talk things through and things you've never ever heard before. Just welcome Twan van den Nieuwenhuijzen. Hi Twan, I'm really glad that you're here with me today because you're super busy, I know it. So how's your day today? Tell me.
Oh, well, thanks, Jan. Thanks for having me. To be honest, this day feels a bit like calm before the storm because, well, all things are settled. All the different departments are taking care of details. Our contest team mailbox is very quiet today, so I think all my 39 friends across Europe and beyond are also preparing in silence. So it feels a bit like, okay, in a week or two we are heading for Ahoy, and then I'm sure a tsunami of attention and energy and creativity will burst. But to be honest, today is a quiet day.
Yeah, the quiet before the storm. This is always this, I think, this time before the Eurovision, like those 40 days before, when from the side of delegations probably everything is kind of prepared, you know, and now it's your turn. So what are you up to nowadays? Because you're starting to building the stage.
Yes, they actually started this Sunday, a few days ago, and well, of course, there's my colleague Erwin taking care of everything, all the flight cases, all the trucks, everything, all the gear coming in and being prepared for us, but also, of course, for the delegations. So, yeah, on different spots across the Netherlands, people are preparing. So, for example, in Amsterdam, I'm going to have a look at it tomorrow. Our stand-in students, the students from dance and sing academies, they are preparing the stand-in rehearsals. On another spot in the Ziggo Dome, a big concert venue in Amsterdam that's closed by now, but they were so kind to lend us their the small venue for all our programming guys. Well, no girls there, so I have to say guys. And they're all routines from lighting design, from motion, from camera. Everything is programmed. So all the 39 acts are very well prepared. And of course, I stay in contact with all those different places, Ahoy, the stand-in rehearsals, the Ziggo Dome, and of course my little team here at NOS building and working at home mostly. So it's all, everyone's doing their thing, and it will come together at the end of April when we start in Ahoy.
How demanding it is for you to really work this, you know, remotely kind of, because this is very, like, if I can say from my experience, it's always very, very hard to just, you know, have everything done only over phone or the Zoom call if you're not on the place. But you have to deal with it, of course. How demanding it is on you and your team.
It's extra demanding, but then I have to say, I guess it's for everyone if you're working for television or doing other work as well. And it's less fun, let's be honest. Of course, we can Zoom and we can schedule a new Teams meeting and so on, but you miss a kind of the fun. So that's why we decided to every morning at 9:30, we have the contest coffee call, just half an hour. Sometimes we talk serious business, but sometimes we only chat and have a laugh. And because when there's no fun in it, then it's you need some humor and you need some other talks as well to get to connect your team and to understand it. And if you make entertainment, you have to have fun yourself as a team as well.
Yeah, and the COVID kind of took that entertainment part from us because we're as well, you know, kind of addicted to the contact, you know, with the people. I think it's very important to really feel who the other person who you work with really feels look like, that's my opinion, that it's very important. But somehow we are adaptable creatures, and you're adapted to it, and you find a way how to adapt other delegations to it. How demanding and how much time did it take to really find a solution for prepare this year Eurovision in comparison when you were preparing 2020?
Well, actually, I have to say, when I started on this job, I received a list of, then it were 41 countries, and there were 41 broadcasters and 41 names. And I didn't know any of those names. And I thought, okay, this is kind of strange because I have to work with those 41 people and their teams. And I don't know them, and they don't know me. But I'm sure we're gonna have to work very tight together, and we're gonna also have some excitement and some tension, maybe, and we will agree on most things and maybe disagree on a few. So, well, there's only one thing I can do, and it's start introducing myself and our team through the 41. So that's what we did in January 2020, and just a simple email saying, hey, this is the Dutch team and we're here for you, and maybe if you already have some plans on your entry, or and you want to discuss some things, feel free, let us know, and we'll set up a Teams meeting or something like that. And some of them did, and that helped. It helped us, of course, also a lot, because otherwise I have to wait, let's say, to the deadline in the beginning of March. But now we were aware of the plans and also had tackled some problems before that, and that was even more this year, because now they knew our team and they knew me. We also worked together on the Eurovision Light show, of course, which also asked a lot of the delegations. So I think it's maybe very simple, but I really think when you connect to people and you have a chat with them and you meet them, and it's an online environment, but that's totally fine, because I wasn't able also in a normal situation to travel to 41 delegations, say hello to them. So that way we did work together, and that's a very big plus for this year. So I'm really looking forward. And of course, sorry, I met a few of them at the head of the delegation meeting last year, 2020, in March. That was just before everything was cancelled. So yeah, knowing people, look them in the eyes. Maybe, sorry, that's not the case this year, but maybe have a little drink with them and have a chat. It does help. So simple it is, as it is. So that was the way we did it.
Yeah, it's always the best thing to know the people, and you're found out that the head of delegations, most of them, if not all, are just great people, who love their work and really probably want to help each other, especially you, because you need it, because you're preparing 39 acts. But as you said, last year, and let's talk about last year first, you were preparing 41 acts in very, very different environment before, everything was cancelled, and we all know the story. But how does the Eurovision for you, if I don't just count the live on tapes and whatever, but how ideas changed from 2020? Did you keep any, or you just built this year very new Eurovision?
The first steps, they are made by the delegations. Someone told me when I started as head of contest, it's not your show. And that's simple, but a very true thing. Of course, for the competition, it are the 41, or in this year, 39 delegations. They can say, this is our artist, this is our song, and also this is the way we want to bring it on stage. You were in that position a few years. I think for the whole show, things did change. I have to say, my colleague Gerben Bakker, head of show, is more the one to talk maybe to about that. But of course, things had to change. And the good thing about Europe Shine a Light was that we had to produce also postcards. That was on our account at that time. But of course, we didn't work. We hadn't the opportunity to go film or send a crew over or anything else. So we had to do it with all the material the delegations provided to us. I think it really worked. I'm sure you did watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
But what I liked was that it wasn't that polished, the postcards, but you really got a glimpse in 20 seconds about how the life and career maybe of that artist was, just with footage that was there, that was filmed for other preparations. And I think adding that to this year's postcards formula has done a good job. It was a good influence, let's say.
You were doing the 2020 contest. You are doing actually 2021 contest. But you were doing as well the Shine a Light show, and that was kind of a first of its kind with all the audience, with all like too many countries all together. Did it really help you, or did this experience help you to build 2021 Eurovision? Because you didn't know if it would be the same thing, kind of.
I think it helped that it's possible. So that in 7 weeks we set up this show, and of course you can have a look at it, and I'm sure you can point out some elements. You say, well, that wasn't mostly perfectly done, or
But
I don't know.
You can say this about any show, kind
Oh,
of.
sorry, that's also true. But of course, it was on a lot of levels. Maybe it ticked all the boxes, because I'm sure we gave viewers across Europe a good alternative, something to watch and enjoy. I think it did unite Europe on that special night. And from a production kind of view, we succeeded in getting all these bits and elements together, and also involved all artists and all delegations to contribute a bit to that performance, to that show. And I think that was very important at that time, because it was the first time for all countries, for all the world, to be in such a situation. And then, okay, it sounds maybe a bit corny, but that's not the way I mean it. When you are united and you can put on a show in just less than 2 months, this together, I think that's very, well, I will never forget this experience. It was very good. So that things are possible when you continue, and you continue thinking about possibilities and exploring new ways to put a show together. Yeah, that's a very big plus.
Yeah, I was discussing this, that you said, like, maybe you can point out some things at the show which are kind of wrong, whatever, you don't like, name it. And I was discussing with one of my colleagues, or not just one, but with a bunch of colleagues, and everybody had some ideas, and maybe even me probably, but I said then, like, as you said, like, it's the first of its kind. It's uniting show, and especially how hard it is to get such a program in 2 months period, when you just have to start from the scratch, which lots of people don't understand how really hard is it in television environment, especially when you're working with 41 countries, 41 televisions with their own bureaucracy, which as well is hard. How did this help you this year with this process? Because it was the start of some kind of process which helped you this year as well.
But the thing is in the time that Eurovision 2020 got cancelled, here at the NPO, NOS broadcaster, 3 processes were going on at the same time. So the cancellation, there was also a lot of things to put down, the insurance, I don't know, everything. Then we were, with another team, I was in that team concentrating on producing Shine a Light. And already things started preparing for 2021. The first drafts of, okay, we should work out different scenarios was already made then. And we, as the Dutch team, of course, really wanted to be the one to produce the 2021 edition as well. So at the end of the show, we were luckily could announce here in Rotterdam. That was the last shot you saw in this show. So all these three processes were going on, and I have to say, ESCZ did a really good job to combine all those things. But I think, yeah, the connection with some of delegations, with almost all delegations, right then, it started all of us for the 21. So for the,
Yeah, I understand.
The connection with
that's very understandable. Like, can you tell me, like, everything started back then, but you have to find safety measures in the case that, you know, the Eurovision wouldn't happen normally, and anyway, whatever you do probably wouldn't happen normally, as the situation is still crazy around the world, and it's changing all the time. But you find a safety measure, which is called kind of like live on tapes, and probably even more things. But how this idea developed in your minds, in your team? What's the first steps of this idea? Just tell me the story behind it.
Yeah, the first step was because of our assignment was 2021 has to be there. It has to continue. There has to be in May 3 TV shows. They are called Eurovision Song Contest 2021. 2 semifinals, 1 big final. There has to be a competition and there has to be a winner. And the circus has to, well, go on to 20. So that was firm and clear and very understandable and a huge challenge. So we thought, okay, so we have to make it happen. And yeah, then this idea of also having videos was there. I'm sure you know, around the cancellation, a lot of people were, suggesting or complaining, that's how you see it. Why didn't they do a music video contest? Which personally I think is a very bad idea. Because it's not a competition, and in the music video you can do everything you would like, and it has nothing to do with a live on stage performance. So yes, videos, but how should we shape them? And there should be, because it's a competition, also rules for that competition as well. They are a bit different than when you compete on a venue in a live performance. So that was just several sessions, talking, thinking things out, throwing it away, and then we ended up with a rule. It was an obligation for all delegations, which of course asked also something from ABU side to prepare everyone for it. Then I at this moment I'm very confident that we managed quite well and have now in stock 39 live on tape backup videos.
Yeah, you already kind of have the contest, you know, already.
Yeah, we have. Isn't that strange? Yeah.
This is very weird. That's maybe why is it called calm time? You know, maybe it's not. You know, it's already done. Kind of. It's up to you now to finish all of. You know, no, I'm just kidding. You know, but sorry, I interrupted you, but that just made me funny that actually realizing that you have it.
We have it. That's strange, and that was also strange. I know Norway was one of the first countries we did a live on tape recording, and I saw you talking to Stig before, so he was of course very well prepared. He knows the drill. He understands.
Yeah, he's great what it is. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So and they did it 2 days after their national final. So we were. I'm sitting in the same room, so I'm pointing to a screen which you can't see, but we were ready, and someone from EBU was watching, and someone from Ernst & Young is there, and Emily, my colleague Emily, and I also, and we were in that OB from the Norwegian broadcast, and Stieg was there. And well, then the EBU repeats the rules and everything, the procedure we are going through, and he has to confirm, yes, I heard you and I understand the rules and I accept them. Okay, but we also sensed a bit of a competition tension. So the team, Stieg, and all people in the studio, they realized, maybe it was mid-February, I think, maybe in the coming hour, when we have the possibility to 3 times tape this our act, maybe that's the contribution of Norway to the 2021. And then if we don't do it well, maybe we're lost, something like that. So that was good to see. There was a focus also to really want to get the best out of that act. So yeah, that's how it went, and that was almost the case with all 39 countries.
Yeah, like lots of countries, they were doing it in their own environment, some in their sets, you know, as you said, mentioned Portugal or Norway. Some of them, they're used, you know, collaborations on the same set, and some just made them their own set. Did you, like, how was it to oversee all of it, and how much do you think, if you just, you know, can review this, but maybe it's too soon to ask, but if you just review those moments and you say, like, did we really set a fair conditions to everyone?
Fairness is complicated. Of course, I have to admit, I'm not going to lie about that, because obviously when you're all in the same arena in Ahoy, that's very equal, of course. And this also was for everyone an extra obligation, not only creativity and production and time, but also money.
As well, the budget,
and,
yeah.
And you know that the budget, well, maybe there are a few delegations where money isn't an issue, but most delegation, it is an issue. And I don't think a broadcaster says, oh, you have to do an extra video, here you have 10,000 euros and make something out of it. So it's difficult, but you asked before what we took from Shine a Light and bring into the preparations of 2021. This is also one of them. Not give the obligation to build like the same studio 40 times across Europe. Not an obligation for a prop or a set design or something. We decided, let's embrace that there's a diversity in all countries. So on a TV production level, maybe the studio they choose, maybe the set they build or the light design they're gonna use. Let's embrace the fact that it's different and see where it gets. I'm sure viewers will understand. I'm also sure when we would be in the unlucky situation we have to use one or a few backup videos, there's going to be complaints. It wasn't fair because they were in the studio, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
But the rules are set really, really
I
straight.
Know. Yeah. You have this hour, you have 3 times, you have to upload all files so we can check them. So, yeah, that's, I think, as fair, but also as fair as we could get to bring the competition on a level playing field. And yes, there will be differences. Yes, that's true. And we couldn't find a solution to make it better if we did end up with a plan where a set build or you have to use 8 cameras. That could be a problem for countries with a really tiny budget, and they say, yeah, we can only afford 4 cameras. Just say something. Should we then oblige them to hire 4 extra cameras and maybe also people to control those cameras? So yeah, what do you think when you hear this? I'm curious about your opinion as well.
Well, I was thinking about the budget, like from the Czech Republic side. Probably, I would say like we didn't do no national selection, so it will cover the thing. I would be more worried about the expertise of the staff that we have
Yeah,
that probably doesn't reach the level of what is demanding for Eurovision, or it's very hard to find. That's the reason why I wanted to have national selection as well. This is more complicated, but I think in general in Czech Republic we loosen the pace of where the television is nowadays, and this actually, in my opinion, was a great thing that you maybe, and not just you, like the idea itself or the obligation to do it was a great mirror to all of this, like how much we should improve. That's my opinion. I don't know how it was, of course, but that what I would really think about it, as that was always my concern. But I would say
and
that
Jan,
maybe, yeah, sorry.
well, when I look, it's
We
strange
changed
because
roles,
we have.
we changed roles now.
Yeah, okay.
No worries, come on.
No, it's strange that we have this interview today because now I'm going through the questions you asked through. Oh, there's been such a lot going on. So let's say in January, me personally, I was very negative. I thought, oh, it never's gonna happen. This will be a video competition, and of course we'll have this backup video plan, and that's totally fine. And we're gonna work as hard as we can to. But yeah, it's gonna be let's say 40 video performances, and at that time I thought, well, I think it can be great to see 40 different TV studios. I'm not that often when I see Moldova studio or Azerbaijan or so that would be a nice mix maybe of seeing how TV is in all those countries and what they do when they have restricted and different rules to obey to. So yeah. But now I'm very happy, and I have to knock on
Oh
every
yeah,
wood in
I'll,
this
I'll do the
room.
same. I'll do the same.
Thanks that we will not use a lot of them, or maybe none of them. So that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there's two things actually which is concerning me right now, and for maybe longer time is I've even made a video about how important actually live on tapes can be for not just the stuff around camera guys and multi-camera directors, which or who doesn't have this experience of the demands of Eurovision or the competition, because it's competition, we want to be the best. But even for the artist who doesn't or didn't really experience something even close to this experience, which probably as well was the example of like Benny Christo from Czech Republic, who've just done this for the first time, and maybe now he learned a great lesson. It could help him with the big Eurovision, as I think countries who does not has this kind of national selections who are used to it, they are in the big disadvantage with their artists who just you can tell them whatever Eurovision is, but it's unshareable experience. They need to learn, like go through it. I do think this experience will help you actually when you will invite them on the big stage, and the work probably will be even much easier with them as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it's also a benefit for our team, but also for the artist as well. I remember we did the backup video with North Macedonia, and after it, the singer Vasil, the vocalist, he came to the laptop where the head of delegation was sitting and asked if he could talk to us, and he said, "Well, I want to give you a big thank you because," and I was, okay, this is an extra obligation. Yeah, but no,
But that's
thank
good.
you a lot. It helped me. The 2 days we had preparing, and now the 3 recordings we did, and well, I'm ready for Rotterdam. If I should be there tomorrow, I would be ready for it. So that was really cool to hear, and I not only his words, but I also saw him. Well, there was a power in him. So yes, I think it helps artist, being in a schedule and have to deliver really on the spot in the time frame, and more like what delegations want to achieve for the atmosphere of their act or the feeling. It helped, of course, us. I know for the Belgium team, we had some discussions with them via Teams, and I did understand, of course, also when you listen to the song, the kind of atmosphere they want. But then we saw their backup video recording, and then I thought, okay, now I even more understand the sense, the sensitivity, the atmosphere you really want to bring to Ahoy in May. So yeah, that's a big bonus, of course.
Yeah, I always remember when I was head of delegation that the most important thing was that you actually understand what we want to achieve with the act. Because it's really sometimes hard, we have the language barriers, kind of, we're lacking of the words which we want to use, or it's this interview as well, kind of. It's not like it's how it is. It's okay. I'm okay with that. But the thing is that what's very as well important. But tell me, do you I heard one thing, and I just don't know if it's something which I can't say or not, but I want to make concrete that lots of delegations, they really wish not to use the live on tape. That I think they kind of weren't satisfied as well. Probably it was really hard for them to achieve that. Do you share this? That you really this was the demo version, and now let's go really let just keep safe, guys, and don't get COVID, please.
to be honest, yeah. Okay, I can point out a few that I think, I really hope you will be able to travel to Rotterdam and to perform on the stage. And that I say that with all love I feel for all the delegations. But yeah, when you have limited tools and limited possibilities, of course, and I think we're all the same at the end, of course you try to make the best out of the situation you were in. But then when we will be in a situation that we switch from Ahoy performances to those backup videos, it will be a contrast, and well, not in all cases a very nice contrast. I have to be honest on that, but I also think that the alternative, when you can't make it to the Netherlands, you're out of the competition, that would be even worse, much worse. So being a part of it, also when maybe in the beginning of May the situation in your country doesn't make it possible for you to travel to us, to come to the Netherlands, but you can still compete and people can see your artist, and your artist has a platform to share his music and his ideas and his act, and people can vote for it and maybe vote very good for it. Then you forget about maybe a not so nice set design, or maybe a weaker technical environment or something like that. Being a part of the competition, being part of the being a part of the 2021 competition, that's the most important for now. I'm sure.
Do you think that that this kind of actually, like you said the fair conditions, that must be said, I think, but as well that you just gave all the delegations time to really prepare the creative idea that will actually work with both, and maybe some of them they're just find that the idea doesn't really work for live on tape. It could be great on the big stage. Do you think that really shown how the art directors as well really think about the act, and maybe they change something after what they realized in this? Is there anything like they will change few details or lots of details in their acts already, if with the experience they have right now?
Well, just to make this clear, they were totally free of how they shaped the act for the backup videos. So some of them did it very differently from what they're going to bring on Ahoy. They weren't obliged to do exactly the same. And well, there's a very practical reason. Some of them just chose their act at the beginning of March, and then they had in 2 or 3 weeks also do the backup video. So sometimes there wasn't a very detailed or well thought out plan. So they did the backup video and then started after that creating the live on stage act. So when you will see all the backup videos on the 29th of May, because EBU has this special show on YouTube, you see a lot of different acts of the same song.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
Different staging, I have to say.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that. But let's move on a bit to the Ahoy Arena, which is starting to be made. You were saying that you have the meeting with the stand-ins already, or you will have just really soon. How do you feel about this? I'll give you my perspective as a former head of delegation, because that was you give the idea to the content guys like you. We all say like, yes, this is going to be like this, and then like everything, camera angles, how it's going to be, every half, like second and a half edits, like whatever crazy stuff we had on our minds, like, yes, this is great, it's going to be great, it's going to work. We completely understand the idea, and then you see the live like stand-in rehearsals, like this is completely different thing. Like when did it happen? How do you maybe feel or maybe improve as well this moment? Like, is there anything new in this process you're going to do, or how are you preparing for this, especially with the probably COVID rules you have as well, which makes it a bit hard?
Most important thing is you can think about your act a lot, and you can discuss it with our team as well. But you only can really see and understand it when it all comes together. So maybe that's a bit of a dull answer, but I really think it is. But the most important is that from both sides we will be open to to throw things away and say, no, okay, it looked nice on paper, it looked good when we talked about it, but this is not a very good idea. But our lighting guy has another solution. Have a look at this, or maybe should we try that? Yeah, it's. I think that's the process it was before I entered this little stage. But that's the way we should do it, right? And I'm very glad that a lot of delegations also, when they give us their look and feel briefing, or they have a camera script or something like that, and they write, please feel free to add your solutions, or please feel free to make it better, or so that's the way you should do it, I think. And you should rely on us that we want 39 mind-blowing, crazy, very cool, good-looking acts. I don't want some acts to be less good or something like that. It all has to be magnificent.
Yeah, and original as well. Is there anything like this year? It's going to, like, there are so many similar ideas, or probably there is something which is like how's it called, like famous right now. It's like trendy, this idea, I saw it fifth time, like, why is this? It's trendy, it's trending today. Like, is there anything like this? And how are you coping with telling delegations like only one can have it?
It's easy to tell that this about the 2020 edition. We had two trends that came up very often. First was projection. Everyone wanted projection on.
You mean like the mapping?
Yeah, like really projection, old school projection. So mostly on gaze structure. So they brought extra risers with a gaze in all kind of shapes, with all kind of projections, and well, I don't know. I don't know the number, but I think the eighth country also coming up with projection. We looked at each other. Maybe we should start informing them, which we did. And another one was grass. You know what I mean? Grass, just
Yeah,
green.
like the green one,
Yeah.
or the
So
you know.
there were three. I'm very sure three, maybe four, but three, starting with a grass a strip on the stage, and then a low camera point, so it looked as if there was really grass. And the projection that I could understand because of you see it in music videos and you see it on live concerts for big stars, of course. But the grass thing, I don't know. But it was there 3 times, and then we also started. Okay, number 3 is coming in, so I told number 3 immediately in the speed date session we had with that country. Okay, of course we can do this, but you have to know there are 2 others, and I wrote down the 2 others, and I informed them after that call. So you're not the only one with grass, and so this year there's no grass, and there are hardly any projections, but we have other trends, but I'm not going to share them with you
Yeah,
in
sure.
this interview.
I'm really curious about what they're gonna be like. Right, probably just one. So you will tell me then.
I can give a
in-
glimpse. I can
Yeah,
give a
come on.
glimpse. So there's one other trend, a returning element in several acts. And I brought it up in a speed date session with one of the countries. And the first thing they asked, but is ours bigger than that from the other delegation?
I just let everybody guess which country should be. I have one idea, but I just keep it in secret in here. Just you mentioned speed dates. It's something which was invented kind of in 2019, I think, for the very first time, because it was really hard in the head of delegations meeting to get all those information to you guys what we want. It was very demanding, I think, for both sides, but it was very inspirational. I think it really helped everyone to understand what it's possible, and it really helped the process, I think. But how did it work in the environment you have now with the Zoom meetings and everything? And maybe
Yeah.
people doesn't know what it really is. So can you describe it?
Speed dates are invented by the Israeli broadcaster in the Tel Aviv edition, and in the head of delegation meeting in the first week of March, there's also the deadline. So you have to deliver your song, your artist, of course, look and feel meeting document, director's video, everything. But to give the possibility to each delegation to also give some explanation, there was a 20-minute session with all delegation with the team, and we did speed dating sessions for the 2020. We did this speed date sessions for the 2020 edition in Rotterdam. At that time, most of delegations were there, but already then some weren't. So, for example, Italy, of course, one of the first countries hit very hard by the coronavirus, weren't there. So at that time, most of the countries we could speak face to face, and other ones we did via a Teams meeting, and that worked good because, of course, you can all provide all this information in documents and files and everything, but then we have to look to each other and talk about it, and we could ask, what do you mean exactly, or you can do it this way or that way, what do you prefer, what do you think? So with that in mind, we also set it up for the 2021 edition. But one thing that I didn't understand, so after the 2020 at a delegation meeting, I walked over to Sietse and Emily, and I thought, why is the deadline the same as the head of delegation meeting? Because now our producers were in a hotel while the head of delegation meeting was going on, and they were downloading with a not so very good Wi-Fi in the hotel all documents, and we had to talk about the documents as well with the delegations. So now, from this year, we have separated those dates. So you have to provide all the information, all the files, and 6 days later, there's the head of delegation meeting, and there are also the speedos. So we have time as a team, have a look at all the files, talk about it with our team, maybe make a little list of questions. Hey, the Czech guy, we don't understand what he's wrote, and let's ask him about it. Oh, he wants this or that. Maybe we can inform already, if it's possible, with our company we were working with. And so it was more, how do you say it, constructive to talk this way on the speed day sessions, yes.
Yeah, I really appreciate that you really find a solution. As I think from my side, as when I was head of delegation, it was very demanding for everyone in this period of time to even, tell them what is it about in my own television. Like I need like Eurovision is in May, so why do we need to do this like in such advance? Like because there are other 42 countries, and so many other stuff, so it must be done in advance, everything. And actually it really always helped to settle down the idea and to stick with it and go with it, and talk with you guys actually really always helped, as you know your environment as well much better than we will ever do. And as well, this is good for delegation. So I'm really glad that lots of them tells you that like help us improve our idea, because you know what's possible, what's not. And that brings me to that there probably will be audience as well, not a huge one, but some. Are you adding to use the audience into the consideration, or is it an option for the stagings themselves?
We are very positive there will be audience. The definite call is on the 28th of April. And we just have to follow the government, of course. It's out of our hands, but well, I think it looks really good. I hope we can provide each show 3,500 people there. But they will not be on the ground floor of the venue. They will be on the first, how do you say it?
The circle, I don't understand. Yeah.
The circle, the
I don't know.
circle, yeah. The circle. It has a different name, but we say circle because you're Czech and I'm Dutch, and we say circle. We decided, quite a time ago to build the green room, which was originally planned more at the back of the venue floor, just around B stage, let's say. So that's also, I think, very nice, because artists will be and delegation will be looking to each other's performances, which also could add something extras, I think. Might be interesting. And when we have 3,500 of people in the audience, they will bring atmosphere and applauding, and well, you hear, well, obviously we could accommodate much more people, but it's a lot, I think. And it also solves the topic we've discussed a lot about. Should we add, like you do in football matches, extra audience noise that isn't there? And that for me especially was very complicated, because I think we can't add reaction to performances, because it will influence people at home, and they have to vote. They decide who will make it from the semifinal to the final, and they will decide who's going up to the scoreboard in the big final. And if we add some extra applause or excitement from audience that isn't there, then I'm sure we're going to have a lot of complaints, which I can totally understand, because it would, in a not equal way, it would have an impact, an influence on the competition.
Yeah, I completely got I was like, when you were talking, I was about like as well thinking about it, what would happen, and actually that brings me to how to work with the green room. How will you instruct the delegations to behave as well, because this is as well demanding as well for them, all of them in different order, all of them, having their own tensions. Maybe lots of delegations wouldn't be there like in the full scale because some of people they're going with their singers, to walk them to the stage. How demanding is this for you to make this happen right?
Yeah, it's demanding, and I have to say, Anna, that's work on progress. It's difficult for me to say at this moment. Not that I don't want to share it with you, but it's too complicated to do because it is changing, and I'm sure it will change a lot before we get there. So, if it's okay, this is I pass for this one.
This is all for the act, but there's a topic which was kind of stuck in my mind, and I didn't make the video. Probably didn't make you happy if you see it, but it was about the running order, and I said something like, "It is the worst running order ever seen." Sorry, I didn't mean it personally to anyone, but I really found some pattern which I just feel like it's all the same all the time. Kind of. You can have very different answer for it, and I'll just getting it because I hate it when somebody said to me. I probably would hate the person as well, but I think you're Dutch and you're cooler and kind of like more experienced, so you can just say I'm just the young stupid man, and just that's okay. I'll just take it. I'm just saying this for fun. I'm talking too much. The real question is, real question is. How did the running order was set up? What's the idea about it? What's the vision about it? There's always some reason why is it done? How is it done? So can you share it with me?
I think running order for me, for us, mostly has to do with viewers. You have to give them the best possible show, and I think especially this year, the first position, and of course the very first of the semi-final one, is a real special position because we're back after a year we weren't there, and of course there's an opening show and the host will get on stage and they have a little chat, and then there's this first postcards, and then there's this first competing song. And I have to admit, when the Lithuanian song was showcased in their national selection for the very first time, I thought, wow, this could be a real good opening song, because okay, the group is a great group. They can, the singer is they can perform, they know how to perform, they can sing, they can dance, they can really bring something on the stage, very lively. The song builds up, but also it's a song that's very current, and it's a song that goes about the time we're in, but it's not a sad song about illness and a virus and all sad things, but it's about being happy in your own home and have a dance. So I thought, and the team agreed, this really ticks all the boxes of a good, strong opening song. So, and it of course also is a bit of an honor to open. I hope that the Lithuanian delegation sees it that way, because it's a good.
Well,
good
I wouldn't be
position.
that's sure, but I think everybody just need to just accept it. That's it.
Of course, yeah. That's the thing. But okay, I think you don't like the going up and down on.
I would say what was
lineup.
my problem. I got used to it. Of course, that's how it works, and that's anyway. That's your turn how to do show. I respect it. I would that's how it is. But of course, that's me. I have an intention to say something and I do it, and then I just say like maybe I could wait, but but it's a good. It's controversial, it brings people in.
Now we were only thinking, when you start with Lithuania, I think some of the viewers will think, oh, this is kind of a joke entry, which it isn't, of course. So I thought we were there for the all audience. I like to think of a family watching together, and there's the parents and children, and maybe also grandmother is also watching. So I think the second song has to reach out to maybe a more traditional act, a song which is more on the vocals, maybe also the genre would be more, let's say, a bit more traditional. So that made us decide to go for the Slovenian power ballad with a gospel-y influence on that. That's a hard cut. It's a totally different genre. But I think when you have those two shows, I think when you have those two songs at the start of your lineup, then maybe you've reached all possible viewers and reached all different tastes that there are on the Eurovision stage.
No, for sure that's the way how you need to think. Of course, I understand it, but I was just thinking about like everybody thinks like this, and that's for a good reason actually. Like that's the experience talks through that what you're saying that makes absolute sense. But I like absolute sense, and like I have nothing to say against it, like nothing, like. But that's what I was criticizing. That was the thing. Like for me, I would do it probably similar way. Maybe if I have the responsibility to do it, but when I don't have it, I would do it very differently. That's of course how it is. But maybe I would like to see the really like let's blow, especially when we starting after the like COVID and 1 year gap, with really the blast, like don't care about like all the family thing, and like let's just blew it away, and then it carry on the atmosphere that I would probably like to see it this year, and maybe starting with Lithuania, but that we can talk about each placing and anywhere else. That I see them as kind of a favorite. Starting with them, I see it as a bit like, I don't know, like I would like to wait for them, in the program.
But that's also traditional thinking. So when you have a favorite, let's say that Lithuania is a favorite. Right. Oh yeah, just keep it at position 8. Then people will be waiting for that, and that's only a fan thing. Let's be honest, sure. Jan. The most of the viewers, they have one evening, or maybe they watched all 3 of the evenings, and they're just 5 minutes before the show starts. They have never seen or heard a song before. They're just gonna have sit around the television, have some drinks and some snacks on the table, and then they start watching and they vote for whatever they want. And okay, we can elaborate about the first one on the first semi-final. Should we start with Russia? I think maybe that's too controversial to as be an opening act. Maybe. I do love her performance. I do love the song, really, but it's not about my personal taste. It's about for a big family show, and not only in the Netherlands, where maybe people are a bit more progressive, I don't know, but also for all other countries involved. That's our job. That's our responsibility, and I take it very seriously.
Yeah, I completely agree. So that's as well one of the reasons why I asked you for doing this interview, as I really would like to talk about this personally with you. Because it's a topic which is always very subjective as well. Even you have a team for it as well to have a say. It's probably not just your own decision only, or you're not the only one who has the only voice. It's always probably a discussion. Even you're the most responsible person to say how it's going to be. But tell me, why did you place us third? Why did you place us third in the semi-final? Like, what's the reason behind it?
Then I have to think about, we start with San Marino, of course, followed by Estonia, and then Czech Republic. Yeah, I really like the combination of those 3 very different musical styles as well. Also, Benny is a great performer. Also, I saw it on the backup video which he delivered. He's also a bit unpredictable, I think, so he can also surprise a bit, I hope. Yeah, does that make sense? After more
Like
relaxed
whatever
song
answer
from
actually makes
Estonia.
sense, because that's how you structurize it. That's always great about it, because we can be like 10 people around here and we all can have very different approach or opinion about this. That's always
I
good.
have a question for you, Jan, because I get some questions about ending semi-final two with Denmark. What do you think?
Made sense for me. I don't know. I think for me this is just a like weird good song. Does it
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sense?
it does. It's party.
Yeah,
I think that those two are also very good performers. They know what they do.
I think of course it's supporting the song before, kind of, but that we can say it. That's fun speaking, kind of. As a producer, I completely got it. Actually, I don't actually even question it right now. I was questioning it when it was online for the first time, which is like 2 weeks from now we're speaking, or maybe probably 2 weeks kind of. And now I'm just got used to it, because that's anyway what I should do as well, like any other. Just chill down, nothing what to do, care about it, only what to focus on. The delegation should focus at, and even maybe even more if they're afraid of some placing they have, or if there goes some like improve, then that's the only answer, I think. And of course then you never know the taste of the viewers and the jury as well. Very important things in the semifinal. So
I'm sure, and I know this is a bit of a cliche, but every really strong song, strong act will make it to the final, and when it's in the final, it will do good. It might not win because we only have one winner and we have 38 losers. If you look at it that way, which I don't think you should. But that's when you have the competition really on its highest level, let's say. But a strong song will do good, no matter on which position this Dutch team will put them. I'm sure.
yeah, but the thing is that this year it's very special in the and I don't know if you agree, because you saw people singing live. I didn't, but or lots of them. But this is the year of hard like songs with a great quality. Like I've never, like, for me personally, this is the hardest competition ever. Like both semifinals, like first one super quality, and big names by countries, by the tradition of how they're succeeding, as well the great quality of songs. And the second one, very different kind of, not quality but genre wise. There's everything different, more, I would say, even more pure music. And like it's hard to choose. It's maybe we are getting in the stage that everybody improved that much, that the next step, it's another level of improvement, which is great for Eurovision. Do you see it in as well in the approach towards the stagings, that delegations are really trying even much harder, or even better or faster reacting than ever before?
Yeah, I think it really improves on all levels and also with almost all delegations. I think also the Netherlands is a good example because we were in the dark period for quite a long time. 8 years on a row not qualifying. That was really hard. But then Anouk, of course, came and she did it so totally different, so totally not Eurovision style. And that worked. And now in the Netherlands, everyone loves Eurovision and every artist wants to compete, and plans are already there for the 2022 how do you say it, entry. So that's that's an example, and I think most countries take it more seriously. It's a great platform. I can't think of any, or maybe not that much, similar platforms to expose yourself as an artist, or to release a new song or release a new artist. And it might not be that everyone who's done well or has won has a very large international career, very big international career, but yeah, you should compete. Why should you say no to one of the biggest amusement shows in the world. It's totally cool and an experience for life to be involved if you're on stage, but also if you're working behind the scenes, behind the stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you're saying this because I'm trying to repeat it in almost in every interview I'm doing, that this is like the Eurovision is on a rise, and it's just the golden age for musicians because there is no such program like this, like none in the world which they can be part of. And I think lots of artists already are starting to understand how important it can be for them. And there can be just one artist per year on the stage per country, which is as well important. Do you see, and that's my last question, do you see that even the artist taking it more seriously, even probably from the countries where they didn't have proper time normally to do it? For example, Italy, when they have so many obligations because they want Sanremo, that they take it more seriously than ever before.
Yeah, on an artist level, that's difficult to say because mostly, of course, we have contact with the head of delegations and the creative people in the teams. But, well, we get a sense, of course, of how the artist is approaching the whole Eurovision adventure. And there is a will to perform. There's a will to do really, really well. There's a very strong will to create something unique. You have to, because you're in this big arena, and every year maybe people are getting more and more crazy about things. But crazy can also be relaxed. I think, well, now I'm chauvinistic, but I think the Duncan Lawrence performance of Arcade is a very well thought out performance, but it's without big gestures and big explosions or something like that. And Portugal did the same 2 years before that. So, but also that was, I think, thought out very well. So have 100 of looks on your performance and think and create and add some good people to your team to create this mind-blowing 3 minutes and make your artist proud, but also make your country proud. And I think that's maybe what I love most, that it's a competition between countries, and you're there, not just an artist having a gig, you're an artist representing your country. And I think that's maybe an old school value, but it's the core of the Eurovision. And it will be there no matter what will happen with the contest. That's something special. You go for Czech Republic, you go for the Netherlands, you go for Sweden. You're the one, and we're gonna support you. And that's I think a very beautiful thing about Eurovision.
Yeah, and I love it about the Eurovision, and I really wish you luck that you will keep all those things together, because now it's a lot up to you. A lot of countries depends on you, and I really think like you can do it. You speak how you love it. I can see it in your eyes, even it's just few pixels on my screen, but I can see how you love to do in it. And I wish you big amount of luck. Maybe you don't need it, but anyway, I'm just knocking here because it's probably our habit. And thank you for the great interview, Twan. It was great. I was enjoying it. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Thanks very much.
Alright guys, and that was Twan, the head of contest, and I'm really curious about your thoughts, your opinions after you're listening to all of this, the very complete picture of how such things this year in this COVID situation happened, happening, and will happen. And what do you think about those things, as maybe we put yourself in very different perspectives you never know before, or maybe you never thought before, or maybe you still don't. So please don't forget to write me comments below about that. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. This hopefully is going to be as well on the podcast on your Spotify, iTunes, whenever else, so you can listen to it as well, and you can find other episodes there as well, which I'm releasing slowly, of course, but I'm doing it so you can just put it in your ears and listen to my and other professionals' thoughts there as well. And that's all for me for now, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will share it among your friends and among people you think they're going to be interested about those topics I'm talking about with those people. And thank you for watching, thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye.